Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 47 of Let's Play 40k Rogue Trader, the Astra Militarum Commander, where we are currently scanning this system as we've established a colony here. There's currently no resource on that world. What about this one? 5th grade. Oh, there's nothing on here either. So, this is our Filestone system, but we don't need to be here anymore, so let's leave. Pascal Hanelman. Create some routes. We now know of... Yeah, we now know of our way back there. We can now go up to this system, Speculo, the Omicron, or all the way up to Janus. I don't want to go to Janus just yet, so let's go to this one. I'll take the unsafe. Permission to report, Lord Captain. I keep receiving messages about strange behaviors in certain ship systems. All dogs report the uncontrollable opening and closing of doors, gates, and airlocks. They behave erratically and do not obey the operator's command. Regrettably, this led to casualties among the crew. The tech priests have explained that these phenomena are being caused by the machine spirit's irrescribability and have spent hours chanting litany to soothe their anger. Unfortunately, many crew members were badly injured before the prayers could stabilize the systems. Such as who? You didn't tell me who died, and was my profit factor affected? I know that sounds harsh, but I mean, if my profit factor wasn't affected, do I give a shit? Nah, it doesn't matter if I give a shit. Ooh, space dust. Oh, just fuel. That makes sense. We've got. We'll explore all of these worlds before we drop anything on any of them. Ooh, there is a question mark here. A magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of augury rays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet. The rogue trader decides to live this open world. Maybe he will return here one day. Apparently, maybe I will. Scan this world before I quickly look at something. The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detect the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome's system failed and left behind this city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. I'm going to explore the local palace. A lavishly decorated estate, the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden trapwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in the secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. A ghost sword, which is a power sword. But it is unfortunately... Oh, it's a single-handed weapon as well. Oh, cool. Let's send out a crew to explore the city's temple district. We got a blessed bolter casing and some holy gifts. The temple district is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor's statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal weaved in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. Ordered them to gather as many scouts, many things as possible. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filled building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There were plenty of useful things among their finds, including foodstuff and other things of importance. So we've got provisions, mechanized creations, range weaponry, uniform kit. Drain the remaining fuel from the generators. The city won't need them anymore. It takes several trips to deliver the massive Promethean storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out that the colony is running out of fuel. Had their life support system not failed permanently, the locals would have perished due to lack of energy. We'll leave the dead city. Oh, we've got some good stuff going. We are going to go to Janus after this, though, because we need to... Sorry. And this is... You know what? I'll take the 2+ deal. Right, so we're out of the what's it called? So we need to get to. Okay, so we'll warp travel back here. Lord Captain, I hasten to report the disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits of the ship. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. You see, since her first day aboard, her presence has been disturbance to the crew's way of life. If you allow, I prepared a delicate report. Deliver your report. The first incident occurred immediately after our departure from Iraq 5. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to visit his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. The Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions. The Voidship was thrown off course for a matter of a minute, but this was enough for the force of the Imperium to anger the machine spirits, enough for them to start a fire in the service bay. After all that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions: hysteria, empathy, euphoria, rage. This is quite detrimental to crew's morale performance. The last incident was recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay for Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I have failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. I was also told about the conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal. Alas, with no detail. If you like, you can ask Master Wezerin directly. Things were even worse with Jay Hidari. I intercepted a Voxcast in which she promised she would, and I quote, end the Kasha if she ever saw her again. If I may, Lord Captain, Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She is self-contained and does not mesh with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only if you are in a position to talk to her of equal footing and improve the situation, for the sake of the crew's safety, and that of Lady Cassia herself. I guess I need to speak to this. I'm gonna go do this now. You know, it makes the most sense to get this over and done with and get things on track before we land in Janus. Mostly because we're going to be taking pretty much all those people down together.
Lord Captain?
I hear you and Cassia exchanged words recently. What happened?
And who brought this piece of news to you, I wonder? Then again, I have nothing to hide from you. Of late, the helmsmen have been going off course with increasing frequency, and the reports are full of contradicting accounts. The problem continued, even after several demotions were handed out, so I took it upon myself to investigate. I was astonished to learn that our Lady Navigator has been amending entries in the ship's log, and the officers have been keeping silent on her orders. I immediately demanded an end to the outrageous conduct, and I reprimanded Lady Cassia in front of the officers. She greeted my words with silence, and then quickly departed. I should not have acted thus. I never even found out what drove her to do it.
Okay. Now, where is she? That's the real question. She goes at the front, doesn't she? So let's... Technically, I'm pretty sure it was this side, not that side.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
I have heard rumors that you are not getting along well with the crew. Panic flashes in her ruby eyes, and your heart starts beating a little faster when your hands go cold.
Not here. I'm begging you. Aren't noblemen supposed to discuss such things away from the servants?
Let us go to my study. No one will disturb us there.
Then lead the way, and I will answer all of your questions.
What is it you wanted to talk about, Lord Captain? I have nothing to say to your unfounded accusations about my conflicts with the crew. I cannot recall having a single quarrel with any of your people during my entire time aboard. You have been willfully changing entries in the ship's logbook and forbidding officers from reporting it to Abelard. I beg to differ. I read numerous books on Astra Militarum, and I can swear on House Orselo's honor that your officers are entering data in complete contravention of regulation. False terms, random distances between lines, spelling mistakes, even in the simplest of words. I've spent the last few cycles correcting the latest log entries, and I thought he would please Master Abelard, as he is so fond of order. And yet the Seneschal did not appreciate my efforts, and for some reason called them an outrage, even though mere days before he had been swaddling me in warm yellow words. I noticed all your people do this when they are expressing sympathy. I merely wanted to repay the Seneschal with the same courtesy. Perhaps he finds my friendliness off-putting? The messenger you rebuked, butchered his own family and then killed himself. I haven't rebuked a single errand boy on this ship. Cassia ponders this for a moment. I think I remember. A kind young man with a shy smile and skillful fingers, with too much rotten ochre on his shoulders. I grew tired of the disgusting colours and advised him to lighten his burden by casting the weight off his shoulders. He did not come to the next day, or ever again. During the warp voyage, you gave the wrong orders, which led to the vessel shifting off course and the service bay being destroyed. I saw something in the warp, something vast, predatory, shimmering with indescribable colours. It came from nowhere and started at the ship. Dead at the ship with hundreds of hungry eyes, right there in our path. I decided to change the course while it was still possible. Did not want to show panic. Would it have been better to tell the crew we're heading straight to a monster's gaping maw? The officers are reluctant to be quartered next to your chambers because of the constant emotional outburst it causes them. Some even maim themselves and others. I already told you I cannot control my abilities. What else do you want from me? Will I be assigned a pariah chaperone? Or will you put me in suppressing shackles? Would you mind telling me why you needed 100 species of bird and what you used them for? Admittedly, I'm a lost myself. The day we arrived on Footfall, I sent a request to the ship's quartermaster and asked him to get me a songbird. He never asked for clarification, and shortly before we left, I had countless numbers of cages delivered to me, all wrapped in bright red panic, with flickering taints of fear. There was a bird in every one. I was so excited I thought I would have 100 friends instead of just one. They were squeaking so piteously. I let the poor things out. I even fed them my breakfast and dinner, but the stupid birds would not stop chattering even after bedtime. They were dashing out about the room, smacking me in the face with their wings and defecating. I became angry, and suddenly they started pecking at each other's eyes and attacking me. Then I became afraid, and they fell over dead. I do not think I want to keep pets anymore. I think I've heard enough. Will you share your thoughts with me? You have a kind soul, but have difficulty reaching out to people. I could teach you the art of communication if you like. That would be wonderful. My education on Uruk 5 was cut short, but I had realized by then that the wisdom of books is poor substitute for the wisdom of experience. Very well. Since we are done with this understanding, I would like to change the subject. It would only be fair for me to ask you a few questions now, wouldn't it? Cassia hesitates and continues in a less confident tone. Do not mistake me. I'm not going to accuse you of anything. It's just that you are the most worthy interlocutor on the entire ship, and you are always so busy. What would you like to ask? I read a treatise on the by Passes du Mobius very recently, who claimed that subjects would never believe their new ruler was better than the old one unless the old one had been a tyrant. No matter the circumstances, the lowborn rabble became deluded about their prospects and rebel in favor of their base desires. What do you think of that? Your interpretation of this classical text is not entirely correct. If the subjects have grown accustomed to the ruling house, all the sovereigns must do is refrain from breaching long-standing traditions, and just unwanted laws, as gradually as you want, would shift the bed of a flooded river, and no one will ever take power away from you. Cassia thinks for a moment and smiles. Indeed, I was not wrong about your merits, or your ability to hold a conversation. I hope my second question does not confound you either. According to the 20 tomes panned by the preacher Ostak Istvan the Forgotten, mercy and cruelty go through the world hand in hand, but people flock only to the pan of the scales. One pan of the scales. Would you rather inspire fear in your followers, or magnanimous and choose awe? One must be a tyrant, a friend, and a jester to one's subjects. What matters is they clearly discern which role is required at a given notice. There is so much power in your words, power that makes me want to join you. I understand now why your subjects are eager to follow you. I admit I was afraid we were too different, and yet you helped me realize that I can be candid with you. Please do continue. I must confess that sometimes I can hardly bear the burden of how the house is placed upon me. I feel I am not doing my best. Tell me how you, heir to the Protectorate, can bear the responsibility for billions of lives day after day and not stoop under all the weight. It is not always easy, but I try to lead the dynasty towards prosperity by worthy means. Thank you for your patience, Malachi. You are helping me to see the world in different colors. A novel experience for me. Our conversations hold a special place in my heart. Allow me to bid you farewell for now. I'm heading back to my chambers to consider today's conversation. Cool. That's that dealt with. Hopefully she'll be less of a pain in the ass now. He says, knowing full well she will not. Right. To Janus. I believe that is where we were going in the first part, because we've already gone to this system. I'm actually not. I'm going to go there. Unsafe. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Voidship arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and so one of the families called for a rebellion against the usurper of the Voidship. That is you. So far, no one believes their mad tales, but unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ships and forces are ready to eliminate the instigating clan or pacify the entire Void Shield crew. The decision is yours. Destroy the rebellious clan, find a replacement among the neighbouring crews. I'll see to it, your Lord Captain. Alright, let's go see what's here then. Ooh, combat. Gimme, 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 gimme. A report shows up on your personal conjugator screen. Unknown ships are towing the Interstellar Sextant, a cargo belonging to one of Footfall's wealthiest traders. It looks like the pirates have bitten off more than they can chew and have now been forced to drag their ship to a more secluded place where they can plunder it undisturbed. I'll attack them. As soon as they see you, the escort ship charges the battle at once, while the captive sextant powers up its warp engines. Unless you interrupt the preparation for the jump, the cargo ship will forever vanish beyond the veil of the Imperium, along with the riches it carries. Send all available forces to intercept the Interstellar Sextant. Do not let it get away.
The throne protects the faithful.
Where's this Interstellar Sex? It's right there. I'm gonna go there. Ah, 4. Well, the real problem is they're no longer in range, but this is. Oh, you're in range, though. Nothing over there, so let's end the turn. I'm gonna speed these guys up because they're fucking miles away. Whee! Alright, so my stuff should be more than fine. Okay, the Interstellar Sextant's our combat. I'm hoping my plasma torpedoes can reach him. They more than likely can. We'll see. Yeah, they can reach both of them. Beautiful. So they didn't seem to do any damage to this one. Oh, I can literally just move to here and that's it. No, that wouldn't help me. And we'll end the turn there. Oh. But he made me what the fuck you want about? Okay, whatever. Bye-bye. Or at least have some damage. Oh, I forgot about him. I think they might get away. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, he's miles away. Best I can do is try and get close. Seriously, you're not dead yet? Okay. Sorry, you're not allowed to live. That would be horrible for me, if I'm completely honest. And the question is, can we charge this guy? Does not look like it, no. Let's restart the shields. Yep. You just fuck up over there, I guess. There we go. One got away. Oh, fuck. Oh. Two got away.
They pale before our mastery
That's all
of the
shit. Stormbreaker Lance weapon prototype. So it's literally shit compared to okay. Unless we're using the prototype already. Let's just always repair. Oh no, that is a better. We obtained a better one. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's begin the scan. What we got here? Oh, we got somewhere we can drop, and we've got some Xenotech. Let's just explore survey these worlds before we drop anywhere for now. You all have a bunch of Typhon here that I could get. Beautiful. We like to that's like what we like. We like to know. Okay, there is stuff everywhere, but this jungle world has a point of interest. Let's go investigate. The Augur anomaly. Take the usual. Henrik's Nadir level up. We'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later. Oh, Lordship.
With each step, I forge.
Be advised, all acts of sacrilegious theft, encroachment on Adeptus Mechanicus privileges, and looting will be catalogued for justice enforcement purposes.
Is it theft when the goods in question do not belong to anyone? In a tug of war between cold traders and cogs, possession is 9/10 of the law.
Inside the containers are the remains of stones and frescoes depicting a black spot surrounded by structures of some sort.
Watches over us.
What the fuck is this? The darkness swirls beneath you. Your feet, a void of impenetrable gloom. You do not hear a single sound from the depths of the pit. No wailing wind, no rustle of dust. Examine the pit. The bright daylight cannot pierce the darkness lying over the slopes. The longer you look into its depths, the stronger the feeling grows that this darkness isn't just an absence of light. It is something immeasurably vast, endless, capable of reaching the furthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. Through sheer force of will, you avert your gaze. Okay, we'll step back.
Let us walk this path to the end. The duty prevails.
The barely noticeable words in shaky hand rendering touch the darkness will accept you. Lovely, I guess? That sounds horrible.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
The ancient congregators are long dead, despite the conveyor machine is intact. Seems unlikely that something.
Cast your eye there.
Rudimentary tools, devices are now covered in a layer of dust. What's this?
I rise.
The surface is covered in countless scratches, and you can discern some logic in them. Someone began scratching strange symbols, but then defaced them, adding extra marks and lines.
Rusty bridges over dusty trenches. How frightfully fascinating. Truly, the mind boggles. Remind me again why we've come all this way.
Operation successful.
Numerous ropes and cables end abruptly at the edge of the pit, vanishing into the gloom.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Something tells me it's warp related, but no, let's just leave. Nothing seems to be present there at this time, at the very least. Ow. Oh, that really hurt my elbow. Right, we're going to leave this system. And we're going to make our way to the Janus system now. Lord Captain, we have an emergency. Received word that there has been sighting on the lower decks. Voxmaster breaks. A sighting of Lord Theodora. The messages are received in incomplete and vague, little more than yelling hysterical claims. There are reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has already been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look into what's going on yourself. The situation is delicate, and what's especially disturbing, there are mentions of Idira Tlas being present at the scene. What is Idira doing there? Idira broke her microbread bead, so I wasn't able to find out anything from her, but... Lord Captain, Idira is a psyche, and we in the warp. You are the only one who would risk setting foot in that compartment, and if you do not, we will never see Idira again. I beg you, Lord Captain, do not ignore this matter. I will deal with this personally. I need the exact location. Right away, Lord Captain. What has Idira got herself into? Into the macro cannon chamber, no less. The instrument terminal of an important part of the compartment's terminal infrastructure appears to be working order.
The
Good.
divine watches over us.
Fuck off,
These
fucking
rumors
about
about
this.
Lord Captain Theodora. Surely you do not believe them?
Of course not. I saw firsthand how... Wait, who's that there?
Regular display reports on the screens and the symbol still, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Go deal with this heresy.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
And now who deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done? Or is it the leader himself who has finally grown tired of hiding behind others? Theodora von Valancius is before you, and she looks grotesque. A hole yawns wide in her chest, rusted hooks protrude from beneath her skin, and a lumpen, inflamed scar cuts across her throat. The figure flickers, as though it's dropping in and out of this reality. It looks at you with the whitish eyes of a corpse and smiles venomously. Rogue trader, we meet at last. I had grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit. Theodora's look is appraising, and her mocking tone turns out to be one of distaste. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, and everything I left behind has gone to this non-eternity. An entity. Adina's eyes spark fury. Warp illusion, be gone. Agenta, my dear, there's no need to make such a fuss. Why don't we sit down over a cup of recaf, like we used to? I'll listen to your rapturous tales of sacred relics, portents, and your special path. You must have been so lonely without me here. No one else is willing to listen to your ravings. I'll help you with your childish treasure hunt. Theodora laughed melodiously, almost without mockery. At the sight of the terrifying Theodora, Abelard's face turned sickly pale. Throne spare us from the cursed apparitions of the archenemy. Is this what you are truly praying for? I can hear how fast your heart is pounding, Wezerin. I think deep down you hope this apparition never ends. What are you? Her lips curl in a malevolent smile. What, you ask? You dare say that to me, little boy? I am Theodora von Volantius, Massimo of Ascaris, rogue trader of the Imperium and commander of this Voidship. Alas, my glorious voyage through life was ended in the dullest possible way, by death. A nuisance I staved off for as long as I could. But do not weep for me, my boy. I am still keeping an eye on my property and punishing those who failed me. Theodora bares her rotten teeth in a snarl, and her laughter piercing. You are not Theodora. Theodora is dead. There's no coming back from that. I'm dead? How is that? I'm no different from those who have not yet crossed the divide between reality and eternity. I see, I speak, I remember the wrongs you all committed against me, and all those who failed me. I've already begun exacting my retribution. I truly am Theodora, the remnant of herself that she left behind in this world. I am an echo of her memories preserved in the minds of those who cared for her. I am a taste of the tears spilt for the unsaid and the undone. I am the terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate and refused to look to the truth in the face. I am as real as a human passion that brings the world to ruin. You're Theodora, then? Tell me, who really killed you? Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would be more satisfying, to give you an honest answer or leave you to languish in your ignorance. We'll see how you conduct yourself, little boy. What do you want with me? Why are you waiting for me? He wearily rolls her eyes. Masters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breached death veil to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help, and from my little Adira, no less? And once I appeared here, of course, I had to meet the pretender who has allowed this deplorable state of affairs. Where's Adira? What have you done with her? Me? What have I done with Adira? She laughs mockingly. All I did was turn that little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys, I cleaned up after her antics, I provided her with everything she could ever dream of. Oh, I had great plans for poor little Adira. I will send you back into the abyss you crawled out of. You, of all the people to ever threaten me, you are the most pathetic boy. All that you possess was given to you in error. You are unworthy of such a generous gift and incapable of holding on to it. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me. My brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hour. And worst of all, you, my dear heir, you who have undeservedly claimed the warrant and everything else that is mine. I will drag it all to the warp with me, including you. Unfortunately, we're going to have to end this part and continue with this in the next one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, please do follow me on YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a share. But most importantly, guys, stay safe. Have a great day. Join the channel membership if you're interested. And I'll see you all in the next one. See you guys then.